Let's make it a good day.
Today on The Jason Show, unbelievable. It's the drone footage you've seen all over social media and websites around the world. Today, we're talking live to the Minnesota drone pilot behind this viral video. More sales, dream homes, and more drama, girl. One of the biggest guilty pleasures on Netflix gets picked up for 2 more seasons. And calling all book lovers, my mom is back as we share 3 new books you should check out this month.
Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to The Jason Show. The Jason-less Jason Show, because he is taking a much-earned vacation. So you get Kendall and I today, and we're happy to be here hanging out with you.
Hey!
Exactly.
I'm feeling very marigold right now, like very bright for some reason on the camera, but I have to say that is my favorite blouse of yours. I texted you this morning and I was like, I love that blouse every time you wear it. It's so beautiful.
It is so old, and it just keeps giving.
Oh, I hate
you know
when people
those
say
shirts
that.
that just I've got so much wear out of this thing.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I was walking into the station just to get ready, and I heard the hairdryer on blast in the ladies' room.
That was me. I've spilled on myself twice today, y'all. Twice.
She's just in there blow drying her dress. I'm like,
It's
oh,
like,
what happened?
Hello? Like, hi. Yeah, so first, for any of you who are not in the Twin Cities, I am the current traffic reporter. Shane used to do that as well as this job. And so first at 7:15 this morning, I was taking a drink of water, and then I'm the first person you see when we come back from commercial. And I drink the water, and you guys, I can't even tell you how many times this happens to me. I get too much in my mouth and and I'm like, I do not have time to fix this. I'm the only one on. Like, if I'm not there, great, that looks good. So I had to acknowledge it because I could see it in the monitor. I was like, it was just blop on my shirt. Luckily, it was just water. Second time, when Shane saw me, I had gotten food, like egg, on myself. And I have my hard-boiled eggs with soy sauce, which sounds gross, but it's like salt, essentially. Just go with it. Just try it.
No comment.
I had some soy sauce egg on me. I'm like, Kendall, how old are you?
Just get you a bib and a straw.
For real though, I do. And so I was trying to wet it down. Again, it was just like wet blob on me, and Shane was like, how's it going?
What's up?
It's going. Speaking of wet blob, so yesterday we had our first thunderstorm.
Oh yeah.
I don't
That was
remember
rockin'.
thunderstorms in March, and I'm not a weather person, but wasn't that kind of refreshing but also weird?
It felt surreal.
Yeah.
It is March. It's not, that would have been a dumping of a snowstorm.
Yeah.
So at least we didn't have to experience that. I'll take
Sorry,
the rain.
Northern Minnesota. We love you.
Yeah.
We feel you. Yeah, we had thunderstorms, and my dog Harvey that you guys saw yesterday, you can see she's kind of timid in that video. So she's terrified, and we hadn't yet made her, we call it the bunker in the basement. We set up her old kennel, and we put very soothing blankets in there because she just bolts and shakes as soon as she hears thunder. So last night, I'm like bad dog mom. I've already, shown her true nature to the world, which is quivering and terrified of everything. And then she's in the basement terrified. I felt like such a bad dog mom because thunderstorm season already.
I mean, most dogs are not real comfortable with that.
Oh,
so.
Stella couldn't care less. She's like, hi, pet me. Are we eating today? What's that outside? I don't know.
Don't
Look
care.
at me. Yeah, nothing like that. Anywho, we've got some good hot dish for you today. Let us serve it up, Leo.
Nope, then I'm out of the
Nope. Then you're gone. We could try the thing that they did at the Golden Globes with Tina Fey. It's funny. Okay, good news for fans of Netflix docudramas. The streamer is giving us more of what we really, really want, especially if your name is Shane. Selling Sunset just got the green light for 2 more seasons. Not 1, but 2. The show follows the glamorous high-end real estate market in Los Angeles. Among the potential storylines, Chrishell's love life. She just split from Dancing with the Stars' Keo. Christine, she's preggers, and Heather is planning to wed flipper-flop Tarek. By the way, isn't Chrishell, is she the one who was married to the guy who I love?
Justin from This Is Us.
Yeah, okay. Just had to
Who
make
you
sure I
don't
had
really
that.
love anymore after you watch Selling Sunset.
Ooh, we'll have, ooh.
Because I mean, you only saw her side.
Yeah.
And so she got to play it how she wanted, and he looked pretty bad after that.
Really?
That one was fascinating because it happened. We didn't really know what happened with their divorce, but they were filming, and so we saw it after the fact. Like she got blindsided. Again, who knows what they set up with filming, but Selling Sunset, that was the show. It took a few episodes to get hooked, but then you were real hooked, and it was good through the end. So there's a lot that is going to play out.
Okay, so compare for me. Is this more Real Housewives type, or is it more like flip or flop?
Not flip or flop at all.
Okay.
So I guess more Housewives, but you get this great real estate that's just insane and really quirky personalities. The folks that are buying these homes.
Oh, I forget about
directors
them.
and artists and these really interesting people. So you really clash a lot of things together on this. This show, it worked for me. I mean, did you not get into it?
No, I didn't. I always thought about it, but then I just didn't.
Oh.
And I mean this in like the most genuine of ways. I watch sports and home reno shows, and then I garden and read.
There's some renovations.
Okay. I'll try.
But that's definitely not the focus. That's not it, though. There is another show that we talked about yesterday that is also getting renewed. Bling Empire will get a second season. We'll find out what's next for Kelly's love life. We just told you she and her boyfriend Andrew broke up yesterday. Kevin and Kim, could they become a couple?
What?
And what's Anna up to? No word yet on when these seasons will actually hit Netflix. This show was the opposite for me.
Yeah.
I was hooked from the first episode so hard, but then I actually thought it trailed off a little toward the end. Last 2 or 3 episodes, I was kind of getting a little
over it.
They got a little too touchy-feely sensitive. I don't know. It didn't have the same zing, but I'm still gonna watch. So you didn't do this one either then?
I feel by the way that I'm holding this like an infomercial or something. Hello, Jason Show mugs for $5. Just kidding, we don't sell them. I've only on episode 5, like I said.
Oh, okay.
I thought that Kevin was still going for the other girl, Kelly.
Well, spoiler alert.
Oh, and what is Anna doing? Did she
Bashing
leave?
in walls. Do you remember that first season, the first episode, and you meet Anna, and she's got a sledgehammer, and she's in an evening gown.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it at that. And she's bashing in some walls because she doesn't want it there anymore. And you're thinking, and then you find out her dad's an arms dealer. I mean, there's so many layers.
A Russian arms dealer. Yeah, and she has dinner guests down in the first level, waiting for her, and she's upstairs I just didn't want this wall
At this very moment, I decided to get rid of it. Next in the dish, season 5 of The Masked Singer kicked off last night. Now, before we give you the big reveal, and this is a big reveal, here's some of the highlights.
The candle feeds the flame. Yeah, what I got's full stock of thoughts and dreams that scatter. Then you pull them all together, and how I can't explain.
The guy where to go. That's why I want you to know. I'm starting with the man in the river. I'm asking him to change his ways. And wow, hey, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wow. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, wow, hey.
Oh, that hurts me. I think that person strained way too hard. So that was the snail, the Russian dolls, and the raccoon. The panelist guest, Gary Busey and Nick Nolte for the raccoon. There's a duo. And Boys to Men for the Russian dolls. But it was the snail that got eliminated. Now, before we show you it, it's time for a spoiler alert.
You've been warned. Okay, now I'm ready. Guesses for the snail included Jay Leno, Adam Carolla, and this one is really interesting, Senator Ted Cruz. Because there's nothing else happening in the world that he should maybe be paying attention to. None of them were right, shockingly. The take, it was dramatic. Let's say that. Take a look.
Take it off! Take it off! Who is it? Oh my God! Who is it? Take it off! Take it off!
What? It's nobody.
Who is it? What's going on?
Who is it?
I'm really confused.
Is there a body inside there?
Ow! There's something in there!
What's going on?
What? What?
Kermit the Frog!
like, what's that green thing in there? Is that Headless Horseman? It's a body. No, it's Kermit the Frog. A lot of folks were like, but it didn't sound like Kermit the Frog. As executive producer Jeff said in our meeting, people, calm down. We all know the secret there, okay? Right, all right. By the way,
Oh my gosh.
I think I know who the Russian dolls are.
So you don't think it's Boys to Men?
No,
Who?
Hanson.
Oh.
Hanson. And I was reading a little bit on what other people thought, and they had like way more information on Hanson than I ever remember. But there's something about in the clue.
Oh.
Bop. And there was something about signage or a cityscape that some watcher was like, oh, that means this, this, this. It's Hanson. And if you listen back to it, you can hear a little bit of that.
Well, see, yeah, now I feel like I need to replay it and take it in.
Yeah. I don't know if it's all three brothers or if
I
it's
don't
just
know.
two.
I don't think it's fair that Kermit was in there. It's a character. It's not like a...
Shane, these are people in masks singing songs.
I should... True.
Let it bring you joy.
Do whatever you want. Keep
whatever
bringing the
you want.
ratings.
It's just fine. Green frogs.
Sure.
We're
Little
ready.
hands.
We're ready. I love Kermit. By the way, my sister slept with a Kermit doll for like ever and ever and ever. So Kermit is very special in our family. Still ahead, we're checking in with someone else who's very special to us here at the Jason Show family. Dax Holt, and this week he chats with another WWE superstar.
And then his drone videos of Minneapolis are all over the internet. We are chatting with Jay Christensen about his latest videos and how he makes them look so incredible. I cannot wait for this.
And then Shane heads back to Bachman's. We love them and looks for design trends for the spring. We'll be right back.
That was my favorite. I like the pop.
You know, you said, I think maybe you're being self-conscious about, you think people are asking if you've been vaccinated because of your age, but I think it's because you're within 6 degrees of everybody, and if you were to get any kind of a disease, like half of Hollywood would be gone. It would be wiped out.
Well, Jimmy, I said to Kira, you know, I don't really understand why the vaccination isn't according to your IMDb star meter. I mean, for people who are not familiar with that is, that's a place where you can go every day and see how famous you are, which is like the worst thing in the world to do because, you know, if you're hovering around like 1,400, 1,500, it's like you think that's okay, but then you go, there's 1,500 people that are more famous than me. It can really be heartbreaking, and then it can drop the next day.
Oh, yeah.
But
you drop precipitously, yeah, for
no
sure.
one wants to do that. But that would be Hollywood, right?
I love the idea that you're looking at that. You,
I mean, who hasn't Googled themselves? Why not IMDb yourself?
He is more famous than that.
I know.
Right?
I mean, who votes? We don't know who
That's
votes
true.
on those things. Who knows?
I have so many more questions.
Kevin Bacon on with Jimmy Kimmel. Our hot dish continues with our insider to the stars. Please welcome back the co-host of the Hollywood Raw podcast, Mr. Dax Holt. Good morning, Dax.
Good morning, ladies. How you doing today?
Oh, we are doing well, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to hear about this one. You talked to WWE superstar Big E.
Yes, we did, and he was so fun. So here's the thing. We've had a couple, big WWE superstars on now, or wrestlers, and they're the most fun to talk to because they know how to entertain people. They get it. They, it's like they put all their energy into everything that they do. So having Big E on, he told us so many great stories. We got into like his most embarrassing moment of his life, which happened inside of a ring during a practice where I'll give you, but he basically got pantsed in the middle of the ring, and he said that he was wearing loose underwear, and so his underwear went down, and he ended up running, he was like, ended up running around naked trying to get his pants back, and he tells the whole story much better than I did right there, but it was a pretty funny moment for us to listen to.
I think when you have WWE personalities, I mean, they are all about these big personalities, so it's no surprise they're fun to talk to, but did he get into Vince McMahon at all?
Yes, he did. He actually told us, so that's the other thing that we love to ask these big wrestlers about is, Vince also has one of the biggest personalities in the WWE. So what's it like being around him? What's it like, interacting with Vince? And he said, I have a really good story that way back in the day, he was trying to get some music approved. Him and New Day were trying to get some music approved, and they sat down and Vince was in there and they play this music, and it's really upbeat, kind of like choir music. And he said Vince started tapping his foot and then really getting into it and then dancing. And he goes, no one else was saying anything or moving. We were all kind of trying to figure out, is he making fun of the music? Does he like the music? Everyone's walking on pins and needles around Vince. And then finally he approved the music and was like, I love this. And so, it's just funny how I think we've all been in that position where you've had a boss or authority figure, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for their approval.
Right.
Before you know how to react to what they're reacting to.
Right. Your fingers are all crossed, your toes are all crossed, and you're like, wait, are you laughing? Are you happy? Are you good? Now, wrestlers have crossed over into acting. A lot of them have, and he's done some voice work, but does he want to do more acting?
Yeah, he says he would love to. I think the voice work has done really well for him. He has done a lot of acting lessons. We did ask him how the WWE prepares him, and he says, they're constantly doing work behind the scenes, both physically and, acting wise. But he's like, I'm open to it. I'd love to do some more stuff. He is doing a project right now, a Kickstarter project that is a TV show that is to, help with the Black community. They're kind of focusing on a lot of these historical figures in the Black community that they feel that young children should know about. And it's called Our Heroes Rock. But that is something that he is focusing a lot of his time on right now, is to get this I want to say it's like a cartoon, but this animated series up and going. He's like, so that is my focus right now, but acting will also be something he focuses on down the road.
Very cool. Did you get to talk to him about life outside the ring and things like, can they have pets? I mean, they're always traveling, right?
So the pet thing, that one's a hard one. I think pets, honestly, I think even relationships can be kind of hard because you're constantly on the road. He said this year obviously has been a different year for him because there hasn't been a lot of traveling. There hasn't been going out. They spent a lot of time on the road, traveling from city to city. But he said that traveling is not easy for him. He's a big dude, really massively built guy. He said, so getting on a plane is not always fun. He goes, the one thing I want to do when I get on a plane is not sit next to any of the other WWE superstars, because having two of them in a row next to each other is miserable. But he's like, I have to fly at least in first class just because the seats are bigger so that I can have a little bit more room, because no one wants to sit next to him on a plane.
Oh no. Yeah, that would be a lot of arm rubbing for sure.
And he said, he's like, and every time he goes, I'm one of those people that'll pass out on a plane instantly. It starts taking off, and he says he passes out. But he's like, because his arms are so big, he kind of falls into the aisle. And so he's like, every time a stewardess goes by, smacks him with the cart, someone walks by, smacks him. He's like, I can't ever sleep because it's just, I'm everywhere all the time.
Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Chatting with him sounds like a really good guy, entertainer too. Great entertainer.
Yeah.
You can find the Hollywood.
And then we have Gigi from Shaws of Sunset coming on next week. So if you're a Bravo fan, she's really entertaining. I think the listeners will like that one.
Absolutely. We watch that show. All right. Thanks, Dax. You can find the Hollywood Raw podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm just getting that visual of being seated in between two WWE wrestlers, and you'd just be like. Hello.
Sinking into your
space. All right, next in the dish, the fill-in host for The Bachelor, Emmanuel Acho, was on Colbert last night. The two talked about the show's longtime diversity problem. Check it out.
As you said, it was after 20 seasons, 23 seasons, something like that, before you had the first Black Bachelor, and 13 seasons, I think, before you had the first Black Bachelorette. Yeah. Do you think that these shows should more accurately reflect reality in America? The reality that we all live of a diverse culture of 20 drunk women living in one house trying to get one guy to marry them. The reality of America.
Oh, you are a fool, my friend. This show, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, they are supposed to be the utopian relationship in America. But if for 20 seasons, all we see is a white male lead, if for 13 seasons, all we see is a white female lead, then what is a utopian depiction of love in America?
I like that description, the utopian depiction of love in America. Emmanuel will host the After the Final Rose special Monday night following the Bachelor finale. Now, he did not weigh in on whether Chris Harrison should return to his hosting duties, even though I kind of tried to get it out of him, but he was like, I'm going to stay away from that. He did say, listen, I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe in taking accountability culture, for taking accountability for what you've done. Hopefully he's doing that. I watched this full 12-minute interview, Shane, not just because I like The Bachelor, but because I just really like him.
Yes.
He's a really likable guy. And if you don't know him from the sports world, you might be like, who is this guy? Like, where did he come from? But you'll really enjoy him, I think.
And I don't normally look forward, honestly, to After the Final Rose. I think it's kind of a boring show. But I am very curious to see how they're going to handle everything and how he'll do. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. But I think if anybody can do it, seems like he's ready for the challenge.
Right, and he kind of alluded to, so Steve tried to keep like getting him to say who won or how it went or who he liked more of the two final ladies. He really veered out of that, but said, I will say this, it is pretty big because no matter what happens, we all know what has happened after the show now. No matter which of these two women win, this is a conversation and we're gonna have it. And he's like, I'm happy to be a part of it.
It's about time. Next in the dish, facepalm. Oh, Ramona. The Real Housewives of New York cast member, she did it again. She accidentally posted some bank account information on the gram while she quickly deleted it. You know, nothing's ever really deleted on social media. So we can confirm she's real rich. She has anywhere between $360,000 and $384,000 in her bank account. You all right, Kendall? Okay. Some of her deposits include her social influencer contract and her cameos, and that's, if you don't know, where they make videos for fans. It's about $125 a pop for her. And back in January, she also posted a screenshot of her calculator app, which showed a very large number. She said that was meant for her accountant. Do you think she really did that on accident, or is she trying to show off?
Okay, can we have a moment for anyone who doesn't use the gram? It is not easy to accidentally post a screenshot on your story. I have pulled up to post on my story and it automatically pulls up your
last picture.
Yep, your last photo. But then you have to go through the process of hitting
next.
You don't accidentally do that. She just wants some attention.
I mean, and big eye roll. Like, again, it's like, it kind of reminds me of the Kardashians, and I know you like them, but like, just like read the room. It's not a great time to be braggadocious about what you have.
Right.
People are really struggling right now. And a lot of people started actually tweeting and being like, hey, I see you're doing pretty well. Can I have a little extra money? I can't pay my rent this month. And like, kind of coming at her.
Hey, girl. Yeah, she just, oh, Ramona. What a way to put it.
Yep.
Still ahead, my mom is back for our March book club pick.
But next, his drone videos are incredible, and somehow no one gets hurt during the making of them. We will chat with the man behind this video when we come back. Bryant Lake Bowl looks good.
Yeah, we just got here. Coming in now.
Nice, dude. Was that a turkey?
Okay, if you have not seen this video yet, frankly, where have you been? A drone shot that in one take at Bryant Lake Bowl in Minneapolis. Since it debuted just a few days ago, it has hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube, not to mention it's just everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Google News, everything.
Literally everywhere. That video, along with many other drone videos, have gone viral in recent months, and it's all thanks to our next guest. You might recognize him. We've had him around before. Please welcome from Raleigh Studios, Jay Christensen. Hi, Jay.
Hey, how's it going, Kendall?
Jay Bird, I'm so happy to see you, and I'm so happy to see you getting all this recognition. Before we get into the video, a little backstory. Jay and I used to work with each other at this company called Airviews, and we made a lot of really, really sick videos. You are so talented. It's crazy to me, though, that this is the video that is completely blown up. Did you expect it to be this video?
No, not at all. And that's kind of what everybody at our studio has been talking about is, you know, we've been flying these smaller FPV drones and trying to tell stories with them for a while now. And it's wild to see that something that's like this concept was able to get so much viewership, and locally we knew people would enjoy it. And it was cool to see right away people were remembering all the good times they've had at Bryant Lake Bowl. And then all of a sudden it got to a point where we're starting to get inquiries and feedback from all around the world. So it was really cool to see how many people ended up seeing this.
Now tell me how you got the idea to go to Bryant Lake Bowl. Are you into bowling, or where did this idea come from?
Oh yeah, who doesn't love bowling? Bowling's the best. And I live just a few blocks from Bryant Lake Bowl, and I've been on Lake Street a lot this year, kind of looking at a lot of what happened with the damage and a lot of the rebuilding, and just kind of envisioning what Lake Street might look like in a few years. And so I knew that if Bryant Lake Bowl wasn't a part of that vision, that wouldn't be good. So if we could do a video that really was able to go with this aesthetic and concept we've been using with these FPV drones, and they get a good video to use to promote in the meantime, I think that was a really cool way where we could team up on it.
Well, and you just said FPV, so for people who aren't watching, that's a first-person view drone. That's the people that wear the goggles, so when Jay is flying, he can literally see what the drone is seeing. Do you have the quad with you that you use to film this?
Yeah, I do.
I want to see how big it is. I want the people at home, like, that's how little this thing is.
Oh, see, now I thought it was smaller because of the spaces it squeezes between, which now I'm even more impressed.
Yes, and yeah, we crashed this one too. It broken when it hit the pins, but we thought like it would just be a one and done. Like once you shoot it all and you've got everything, just crash and the drone will break. But it's pretty durable, and yeah. So we were right after we got the shot, we flew it around a little more, and yeah. So it's cool to see how just in a few years, the technology and these drones have advanced to a point where you're able to tell stories in one take of a shot. So I'm really excited to see how it progresses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you've flown the massive drones. You've flown these little ones like this. Shane and I were talking before this about this actual shoot. I recognized a couple of those people in this shoot. How long did it take you guys to plan out where you were going to fly, when everybody needed to move? Because people at home, it looks easy, but not only are you flying, but you have to have this directed, because if someone's not in the camera frame or if they move, that's a last-minute movement that's going to kind of mess up your gimbal and mess up your shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the whole time I'm wearing these goggles, so I obviously have to be in the zone. So we have help with guys at our studio. So Anthony Jaska's been directing these FPV shoots where he's able to go and line all the timing up and make sure people know where they need to be. And I'll be, yelling out where I am, and like I'm coming through the door, getting close to the lanes, going through the pins, like I'll kind of update people where I'm at, and then Anthony's able to go and direct everybody when to go. So he also has talent in the video too. He's one of the guys sitting at the scorer's table. So and yeah, Mike Welsh too. He's in the video. You go right under his legs in it, and it's cool to see how Mike's got the same kind of a mind in envisioning the shot with these drones, so he can help out as well when he's on, even if he's not flying.
I have to ask, we know this was one take, like the whole 90-second, whatever it is, shot, but how many times did it actually take to get that perfect?
It was a total of 10, I believe 10 takes with everybody that was in there. And then earlier that day, I had come and done practice takes, at least 5 practice takes without anybody there, just because that move to get behind the pin machine, it was so intimidating to me. And I honestly I was stressed out about it. I honestly didn't think I could do it with everybody there. And everybody's helping us out and giving us a hand there for free, and just offering their time, where I don't want to keep them there all night. And I just want to make sure you know, every time I'm like, one more go, one more take. This is the one. You know, they know I'm not being honest. It's gonna be a few more takes.
I've heard that from you before. Just one more time, Kendall. Okay, we're gonna be here for at least another hour. Okay, one tweet you got, Jay, was from James Gunn. He does Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like, I need to hire this guy to go to London. I know you've done so many really cool videos in the tropics, in Norway, with the Vikings, with the wolves, this one. We've got another one right here that we're showing right now at the Plymouth Movie Theater. But what is next for you? Like, where do you see this going?
Well, I've always been a Minneapolis historical enthusiast, and I've always wanted to, you know, shoot timepieces. And I think it'd be really cool if we can put together a piece that is, you know, in any other era other than today, and trying to recreate history using these one takes, to me, would be a really, really cool concept.
Look at you, and I just want you to be in London with James Gunn shooting Guardians of the Galaxy so you can check in with us. You're going big time.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jay, you're the best, and also Jay is like the kindest, most wonderful human, so we're really, really, really proud of you and so happy for you.
Sweet, thank you very much, Kendall. I appreciate it, guys.
You're lit, fam.
Lit.
All right, Jay, thanks so much. You can watch more of his videos. We showed you some clips, but they're all pretty incredible. You can go to his Instagram page, his YouTube channel. It's Jaybird Films, but it's BYRD, Jaybird Films.
I love Jay. He's the coolest kid ever.
Amazing. Okay, still ahead. If you need some design trends for spring, I head to Bachman's Ideas House when we come back. Try that.
Did you take a drone?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Actually,
through the flower.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no.
Still talking about drones. Yeah. Fun fact, Jay does a lot of music videos for Yam House too.
Oh, yeah, he did the Thrill one, didn't he?
Yeah, the Thrill, and then the one that they did at the with the Timberwolves and some few of them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, still talking about drones. It's the perfect spot to get some fresh ideas for your home.
The Bachman's Ideas House is back. It's changed. It's not in a house anymore, but they're offering up some great spring inspiration. Earlier this morning, I got a rundown of 3 of the top trends that you're going to see for spring. It feels like we hopped on a plane and went somewhere tropical, but we didn't. We're just in the Bachman's greenhouse, but we're checking out some of the big trends for your home, inside and outside. For spring, Karen Bachman Tool joins us. This setup is fantastic.
It is, and this is actually an outdoor room, which is trending right now. So what people are doing is they're really creating an extension of their home so they can enjoy life outdoors. And so when we talk about an outdoor room, we're really thinking about the structure that you're providing. So perhaps you have some walls and it's some dividers, or you can use plants. You have perhaps a ceiling, and maybe it's a pergola, something that you can hang twinkling lights from. Here we have, you know, a kind of a safari-inspired light fixture. But when you create an outdoor room, you're really creating that space that you can enjoy and spend significant amount of time enjoying, relaxing, eating, chatting.
This is definitely something I have seen all over Instagram, the monochromatic room. And it's kind of different than when we think of spring, we think of throwing like flowers and colors.
Yes, that's right. So we're in the living room here in the tour, and this is a seasonal decor trend that is all over. It's monochromatic, and so when you use this sort of element in your own home, you're choosing a color palette that's all within the same family, but you can see how interesting it is with different textures, words, and layering. So it creates a very cozy feeling, but it's all cohesive. But what makes that special is then you have the bold pops of color like green plants, branches that really kind of spark interest in a monochromatic room.
When you say monochromatic room, you kind of think boring in a way.
Yeah,
but it's not. Yeah, it is not. There's a lot of interest here when you look around.
That's right. And then when you layer in distressed woods, some metals as backdrops to our beautiful decor and artwork, the bookshelves, it really creates sort of an industrial, cohesive look, but one that is really a space that you can relax and find great comforts in.
And part of the fun of spring decorations with your house is sprucing up the front porch. And you know what this tells me? This family, if you came and knocked on the door, they would open their door and literally hand you a glass of wine, I think. This is part of the neighborhood of porches Very cool idea.
It is, and this is most definitely the house that people want to gather at. We have a fire pit, we have an outdoor bar, very whimsical decor, over the door setting, and you're going to find a lot of different ideas for your porch and patio that are entertaining, more zen-like retreats, and it's all about bringing kind of the outdoors to life this time of year. So that's what you'll see in the Spring Ideas and Inspiration for the Home Tour.
Some great ideas beyond just throwing a planter with flowers, which is great, in front of your house and putting a pretty mat. If you want more ideas like this, you can come peruse the neighborhood of porches. The Ideas House is open through April 11th. And go to Bachmans.com to get your reservation for your time slot. $5.
Looked awesome.
Goes toward your purchase, and you will probably end up buying something.
Probably. Still ahead, book club is back. Mama Sid joins me for our picks for March. We'll be right back.
It seems like that. Hey, welcome back. If you're looking for a new book to read, I definitely am, by the way. Yeah. We're here to help, and when I say we, she's here to help.
Me! Once again, I teamed up with my mom, Miss Librarian, but doesn't call herself a librarian, to talk about these great books for this month.
We know March is all about Women's History Month, so Mom and I decided to pick books that were about strong female leads and or written by female authors. So Mom, the first one that you read, you really liked. This one's called The Lost and Found Bookshop.
Yes, it is by New York bestseller Susan Wiggs. And if you like Jenny Colgan, you will love Susan Wiggs. We've talked about Jenny Colgan many times with her different bookshop stories. But the thing about these two books I'm going to talk about briefly, so you can keep this in mind, is they have a common thread about us finding the importance of finding joy in our families and figuring out what truly makes us happy. To begin with, Natalie Harper is our protagonist in The Lost and Found Bookshop. She's just received this huge promotion from her job at this funky, crazy Sonoma winery, which she really loves, but she has a very unsuccessful personal life. Just broke up with her boyfriend, quite unhappy with the staff that she surrounds herself with. But she's very happy that she now has the financial freedom she's always wanted. Well, of course, life has a way of bonking right on the head when you think things are going to start going your way. And sure enough, a tragedy hits and she finds herself back at her home in San Francisco. She is now the owner of her mother's bookstore, which is in basic financial ruin. It's very charming and she loves the store very much. So she's there to try to take care of it. And along with the bookstore, she also basically inherits her only living relative, her grandfather.
She inherits her grandfather?
Yes, who lives in this building that houses the bookshop. So because she loves him and doesn't want to disturb him right now when she thinks he's going through this health crisis, she decides she's going to stick with it, keep him happy for the last few years of his life, try to fix up the bookshop, which of course leads to her hiring this dishy contractor, very interesting man. And so it becomes this journey of discovery for herself about the building and all the secrets it holds, her family's secrets, his story, and her story. Very, very good read. I think you'll really like it. So the next book.
Yeah, the other one said you had mixed feelings about, like you almost weren't going to talk about it, but you were choosing to talk about the chicken.
Up until this morning, I thought, I don't think I'm going to talk about this book, but I realized when I really thought about it and kind of went through it again, it's written by a debut novelist. Her name is KJ Dell'Antonia, and she's actually works in the New York Times, writes for an essay. She's a great essayist, but I feel like she kind of got in the weeds on this one a few times, where it got a little complicated, and I didn't always follow where she was trying to go with it. But in the end, I love the themes that it touched on. This book is set in small town Kansas. There are two restaurants vying to serve the best fried chicken in the state of Kansas. And they were started by sisters. There's a legendary battle between them that everyone thinks is a little mysterious, doesn't really understand why it started, but it's been going on for over a century. And this young widow, her name is Amanda, has been living with this feud her entire life. First with her mother, Mimi, and then scandalously, she falls in love with the other family's son and marries him. And then goes to work for that family instead of staying with her mother. So now she's working for, the anti-chicken house. Anyway, she's very tired of this whole drama and wants everything to be good for not only her mother, but for her mother-in-law. and she decides to apply to be on the Food Network's reality TV show called Food Wars, where the competing restaurants, whoever wins, is awarded $100,000. Of course, in steps her long-lost sister, who her name is May. Her marriage is crumbling. She has just imploded her TV career, and she says, this is my way to get back on the TV. I'm going to go in and fix all this stuff. It's her way to redemption. In the end, they're fighting for either, what are they fighting for? Each other, themselves, or their family heritage is what the question is. So I do think it's a really strong book in the end. I think it's worthy of the read. You just have to kind of get through the first couple chapters, but stick with it.
All right, mine is In 5 Years. This is it, Rebecca Searle. She's written a lot of YA novels, so young adult novels. This one is an adult novel. It was in 2020, so it just came out last year. But the protagonist, her name is Danny. She's in her late 20s, lives in Manhattan, has this awesome job at the law firm she's always wanted to work at. Her fiance just proposed. She's got this beautiful, wonderful best friend in Paris. Like, life is good. She falls asleep the night of her proposal and wakes up in a house she doesn't recognize, still in New York, but in a house she doesn't know, with a man who knows her, but that she doesn't know. And she's like, what is going on? She looks at the TV. This is getting anything away. And it's December, the same day, same time that she fell asleep, but 5 years later in 2025.
Wow.
She stays in this life for 1 hour, falls back asleep, wakes up back in her place in 2020. And she can't stop thinking about this premonition, this dream. What was it? Fast forward 4.5 years later, and she meets the man that she met in this dream premonition. The story, essentially, it's a love story, but not just a love story between man and woman. It's between family. It's about friendship. And I just thought at the end, when it all kind of comes together and all those loves come together, it was just a really beautiful piece that I actually cried at the end of it and called my best friend and told her how much I loved her after reading it. So that is my pick, In 5 Years. Mom, thanks so much. Gardening book next month?
Yes.
Should be good.
Thank you.
Gardening books next month, and yes, I really did cry and called Jenna and tell her I love her.
Your mom almost looked like she was going to cry when you told her that. So.
I know. If you missed any of those books, we'll of course be posting this segment to our Facebook and YouTube pages. Just search for Jason Show TV.
We will be right back.
I love you so much.
Yeah. That was like...
Welcome back on your Thursday. Well, presumably your Thursday morning or whenever you're watching. Welcome back.
By the way, you can stay connected with us on the show, social media. Check us out. We got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're everywhere, almost. And you can just search for Jason Show TV. I like how every time we draw one of these gumball goodbyes, I end up using it as, I just can't control myself. There we go, yeah.
Just having fun.
So, this is the question we're gonna answer after the break. So think about what you would say. Would you rather be totally underdressed or overdressed? What's the answer?
We'll find out. I wonder.
I'm playing all these scenarios in my head right now. Welcome back to Jason Show. Renamed the Shendel Show just for this week. It's a 1 week only thing.
What did we call it? What was your nickname again?
Oh, I didn't know if I wanted to bring this up again. My nickname growing up was Bainzo.
Bainzo and Bundle Show.
And hers was Bundle.
So horrible.
It's really bad.
Let's just get to the goodbye. I don't know why I brought that up.
Okay, so the question is, would you rather be totally underdressed or overdressed?
No, you go. I went first last time.
All I keep thinking of is that scene from Mean Girls at Halloween when Caddy goes over the top and is like a really terrifying witch, and everyone else is like a cute,
hoochie
bunny. Yes, exactly. But I think underdressed is probably worse.
Underdressed is worse.
Because it affects your mental, like you want to just hide under a corner, like I'm in flip-flops and everyone else is in a ball gown. Like.
Yeah, you just like slowly want to creep yourself like reverse.
So are you same?
Oh, I overdress every time. Overdress, yes. I usually, a lot of instances in my life have rolled in more dressed up than anyone else. I just talked about her, my best friend. She used to say, "You look good, you feel good, honey."
Yeah.
It's true. Let me tell you, it's true. You can slab on all kinds of things and be like, wow, my mood just suddenly improved.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So underdressed is way worse. We're both on the same team.
Oh, for sure. I think when you overdress, you sort of walk in and your initial reaction is, oh, but then you just kind of roll back and you feel a little better, you know? I like it.
Do what you gotta do.
Hey, tomorrow on The Jason Show, we're really excited about this one. Meet a local high school senior who started her own company as a way to pay for college.
Plus, Chef Katie Gertis from Angel Food Bakery has an exclusive announcement, and she's gonna whip up something sweet for us. That's coming up tomorrow. See you then.
Thanks for bringing it to me.